Hey, Laker fans, welcome into the Lakers Report. I'm your host, as always, Jimmy Crowther. Before we get into the video, make sure you scroll down and subscribe and give this video a like because we're breaking down all the latest Laker news and rumors on a regular basis, including today where we got some news for you and we got some rumors to talk about as well, including a former Laker that could be a future Laker once again. Trevor Ariza, who was recently traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder, could receive a buyout from that team. And if that's the case, the Lakers are monitoring his situation, according to Shams Charania of The Athletic. Now, the interesting thing here is that the Thunder need to cut at least 3 players from their active roster before the season starts. That's just the rules. You can only go into the season with 15 guys under contract plus 2 two-way guys. And Ariza is one of those guys who's kind of on the outside looking in as a 15-year vet who's now 35 years old on a team like the Thunder who really aren't doing anything except playing for a better chance at Cade Cunningham in the number 1 pick next year. Now, Ariza last season was fairly effective with the Portland Trail Blazers, but he only played in 21 games. And in those 21 games, you can see what he did: 8 points, 5 boards, 2 assists. Still shot the ball well, as he always has, because for his career, I mean, he's a 35% three-point shooter. He proved that he can still shoot the ball in his 15th season in the NBA. And look, at the end of the day, Ariza is a true vet that has proven himself on a championship roster. In fact, one of those championship rosters he was even on was with the Los Angeles Lakers back in the day, 2007, 2008, and then 2008, 2009. He played in 82 games in that second year with the Lakers, and now they're monitoring his situation and saying, hey, we might go after him if we need him and if he gets bought out by Oklahoma City. So would you take him back? If he were willing to sign on for, obviously it would just be a veteran's minimum, and he were to come onto the team, would you want him back in Los Angeles? Type Y for yes, type in for no. The answer for yes is pretty simple. The reason for yes is pretty simple. You get more wings and you get more veterans on this team, but the reason for no I'd understand too, because you'd have to make some roster cuts, and I don't know who you'd want to cut on this team. But if you did, and you did end up adding Ariza, I think you upgrade your wing depth. I know they just brought back Jared Dudley, but at the end of the day, Ariza is going to help you in the locker room probably just as much as Dudley does, and he helps you on the floor right now more than Jared Dudley does. So cutting him might make some sense. Wesley Matthews was a good addition, but Ariza is a more versatile defender, whereas he can guard more 2s and 3s, and Wes Matthews really even up to 4s in today's NBA, and Wes is kind of limited to those 2s in today's NBA on the defensive end. Then, of course, you have LeBron, KCP as wings as well. Ariza just does different stuff. I'd expect him to get bought out pretty soon if he asks for a buyout from Oklahoma City, and if that happens, I think he could end up in the purple and gold before we know it. And if you need to end up in some purple and gold in your own life, this is the place to go. This deal right here, chatsports.com/Lakers deal. Last time I told you about this link, we were giving you 20% off, and then the bosses were like, no. We're going to give them more than that because they've been some loyal watchers lately. We want to give them 25% off, so you can be paying basically 3/4 the normal price for anything Lakers gear at this link today. chatsports.com/Lakers deal. Whether you need some new gifts going into Christmas, whether you want a new pair of shorts, a new t-shirt, a new hoodie, a new jersey, a new Lakers hat, whatever you need, whatever you want, they got it right here for 25% off. chatsports.com/Lakers deal. Let's go to DeMar DeRozan here of the San Antonio Spurs. I know I talked a lot about him in the offseason, and we're still technically in the offseason, and he recently had a quote about a potential trade to the Lakers. Now, it's a little harder now to trade for DeMar DeRozan than it would have been, I don't know, say when you still had players like Danny Green and your 28th overall draft pick to move around. You just went out and you got Dennis Schroeder. You signed Montrezl Harrell. Obviously, those guys are a little difficult to trade right now just because of contract situation. But DeMar is a guy that grew up a Lakers fan, and he's hearing all the noise about a potential Lakers trade now going into his 12th season in the league, and here's what he had to say. To be wanted by a championship team that just came off a championship, to see that, how could you not feel some type of way? Especially me, being from Los Angeles, it's like, damn, my hometown team wants me. They just came off a championship and they want me. It's definitely crazy to be able to see that, but anybody knows that whatever jersey I got on, I'm going to lay it out there on the line and represent in the best way I can. So, an interesting part to me is that he wants to be in LA, or he at least hears it and is excited about that potential. And if you were to look at a trade that would get DeRozan in the purple and gold, it would probably, actually, I'm not even going to say probably, it would definitely cost you at least Kyle Kuzma. When you put their numbers up side by side, I mean, in all reality, in every form or fashion except for three-point shooting, and not even by that wide of a margin, DeMar DeRozan is a better player than Kyle Kuzma. Now, he is a lot younger. Kyle Kuzma is a lot younger, but DeMar's not old by any means. I mean, DeMar DeRozan is still 31 years old. If you're trying to win right now in LeBron James's window, you're going to go out and you're going to trade Kuzma for DeMar. But I know there's a lot of Kuzma truthers out there, and I get it. You guys believe in Kyle Kuzma. You want him to be the guy on this team alongside Anthony Davis once LeBron James is down the road, shipped off somewhere else or off in retirement. So who would you rather have? If you had to choose right now, who you picking? Type KK for Kyle Kuzma. Type DD for DeMar DeRozan. Just so happened to work out that we got the double initials there. So let me know who you'd rather have in the comment section. And I think the answer is pretty clear. It has to be DeMar DeRozan. Because if you put DeMar in this starting five, I mean, it's a wrap. It is an absolute wrap. I mean, it already basically is for the rest of the league, if we're being honest with ourselves. But you add DeMar DeRozan to the backcourt of Dennis Schroeder, and with Marc Gasol in the front court in the center position, Anthony Davis and LeBron James, I mean, LeBron and AD could probably take every other night off, and the Lakers would still be the number one seed in the Western Conference with that lineup. So I would be all in on a DeMar DeRozan trade. I don't think the Lakers currently have the pieces to pull it off anymore now that they've traded away Danny Green. They've traded away draft picks. They don't have a lot of future draft picks to offer. So I have a good feeling he's not going to end up on the Lakers. But if he does, we'll have it for you here on the Lakers Report. And you guys have been so awesome. I mean, you guys have helped me get this channel to 30,000 subscribers. It grew like crazy over the offseason, but I don't want to stop there. I want to keep climbing the ladder. Let's make our next goal 40,000. Why don't we just jump from 30K straight to 40K by you guys hitting the subscribe button. You see this link right here, youtube.com/LakersTV. Best place to be, best place to go for all things Los Angeles Lakers. Or just scroll on right down below me and hit that big red subscribe button. Let's go to Quinn Cook here, and he's officially back with the Los Angeles Lakers, but it is on a non-guaranteed deal, which means he could be waived in training camp for basically next to nothing. Now, Quinn Cook, of course, is now a two-time champion, one time with the Los Angeles Lakers and one time with the Golden State Warriors. And for his career, he's a 40% three-point shooter, and we expected that out of got all my C's and K's mixed up. We expected that out of Quinn Cook going into this last season. It didn't really happen. He didn't shoot as well as we thought he would, and also the Lakers didn't play him as much as I thought they would either, as he only averaged 5 points per game and 36.5% from three. And don't get me wrong, 36.5% from three is definitely above average, but it's not that great. And Cook only ended up playing in 44 games, and he averaged less than 12 minutes per game with the Los Angeles Lakers. And that's why they brought him back on this non-guaranteed deal, so that if he comes in training camp and he doesn't really look ready, they can cut him and it's no big deal. Or they can say, hey, we're going to give you your money guaranteed, probably about $880,000 or $2.6 million. I'm not sure which one he got, and it'll allow him to stay on the roster. And, you go to the end of the bench with the Los Angeles Lakers, and these guys are better than a lot of guys in a lot of regular teams' rotations. Like, if you threw out Quinn Cook, Alfonso McKinney, and Talen Horton-Tucker, there would be some teams at the bottom of the lottery, or at the top of the lottery, I should say, that would really play those guys in rotation minutes. Now, Dudley, not as much, being the veteran that he is, but I still like these pieces for the Lakers, and maybe they have to make some cuts, but if it comes down to like Quinn Cook or Alfonso McKinney, I think I'm taking Quinn Cook. Maybe you take McKinney because you need more wing depth, but Cook's a good shooter, and you could always use shooting. So I'm happy he's back. I'm happy he's getting another chance with the Los Angeles Lakers. And look, if you've made it all the way to the end of the video, because first of all, quick little round of applause for you guys. But I want you guys to let me know that you made it here by getting down in the comment section and naming the most random Laker you can think of off the top of your head. You saw this question pop up on screen, and when you saw it pop up, who'd you think of? Let me know in the comment section.